If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm
Good morning and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for May 2nd, 2020. How's everybody doing? Oof, Days of Doom. Well, at least I know what we're doing tonight. Destructible torpedoes, complete Lucari TFOs, defeat D1 arthropods. Yawn. Oh, how exciting. I was going to wander in the Wonderlands this morning. And I suppose I should go over and kill some D1 arthropods. Ugh. I don't mind. 120 isn't the end of the world, but it does get boring to do that. I mean, really boring to do that. And this isn't the best tune set up for it, so maybe, maybe not. That's an interesting choice of apparel. The creature stance, TOS environmental suit headpiece. Okay, well, somebody was having fun. But let's go check in on all our daily tasks. At least our Wonderland tasks, which for the most part is picking up some missions to run later in the day and seeing where we are in our accolades. So this tune has still got Mine to finish up. And it looks like that. Coalition Unraveler. I just saw this and for some reason my mind went, Coalition Underwear. That would be an interesting accolade. No, I'm not going to run the race. No, I'm just going to pick it up. I'll run it twice tomorrow. Well, let's go ahead and get our EPOs done. Yes, I know, this is so exciting to watch me go clickety click click click.
Epos! Cuddly and friendly Epos!
And last night DT sent me two quantum torpedo launchers. Not bad, but let's go on over and see what these are doing on the exchange. Since it's an upgrade weekend, it might be a good time to look at these and see what we can do. Oops, wrong one. You don't want to see my mail. To see how these are doing on the market in terms of what can we do. Okay, so they're going for a base price of 100,000 for these in a purple. Let's go ahead and see what we can do by taking them up to a 12. Come on, let's stick with very rares there. Okay, so they're going for 300,000 to start at this level. If we take it up into epic, well, nobody's got an epic one at level 2, so let's go down to ultra rare. 11 million for this in an ultra rare for 12. That might be with it, but nobody's got that. So, interesting. Nothing in an epic. How interesting. So let's see what they've got. I'll just take that out entirely. So if we were to take this up to a 15 epic and do some modifiers, they're going for about 20 million each. Is that worth it? That's a good question. The easiest way to make anything go epic is to throw on a couple of omegas. That's the easiest way to make something go epic, and I just don't know that I want to spend my epics on that. I have 142 of these left, and I have 2,000 total. No, 2,000 of each color on the Omega fragments, so that would turn into what, 50? 80. Sorry, can't do the math yet. The coffee hasn't hit. 80 more upgrades in total. Then the other thing would be to potentially use ultimates on that, and then reset the modifiers. I don't know that I want to do that or not. Something to consider. But it's a good use for your upgrades, and if you don't have anything you necessarily want to do with the weekends. Let me go see if anybody's out there in Discord this morning. It's just me, but I'm going to go into the live channel. If you want to join me, I'm there. If you don't want to join me, that's absolutely fine. I won't complain. Good morning, Smiertzlan. Around 6 million for the Mark 15s. Hi, Wolfie. How are you? So is it worth it to invest your upgrades for the purpose of selling things on the market? Here's the reason I'm asking. I mean, I know how I'm going to make some money next week, but for this week, I'm looking at the La Serena. The odds of me picking it up off of the R&D boxes is slim to none. Yeah, you can join in the voice. Do you have the link, Smiertzlan? Okay, yeah, I'm in the, what is it? Live or on stream channel. Yeah. If you want to come into We Are Live, just be aware that you're live and talking on the air, but otherwise you're welcome to join me. And Wolfie, I am fine, thank you very much. My son is doing much better, and hopefully we'll be out of the hospital today. I was supposed to be down there, actually on my way down there right now, but he has had some health issues, and so they thought to be safe they'd throw him in the hospital, and he's absolutely, well, he's getting better. He's better enough to plan to go home today. But that means I can't go down and be doting mom till he gets home, and I figured to give him a couple of days to recover. And then I'll go down and annoy the heck out of him for a little bit. Because he is my baby, and it is my job to pester him.
Hi.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty well. How about you?
I'm very well, thanks. I'm turning up your mic there. It's a little quiet.
What?
Or I'm a little loud, one of the two.
Yes, I have a great Borg voice.
We are the Borg.
Ooh.
Will be assimilated.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Ooh.
I don't even need any audio tuning for that.
Oh, that's really nice. We're working on something, and fortunately we've got a couple of people who do a good Ferengi, but all of a sudden you've given me an inspiration to do something with the Borg. Ooh.
Q is a genius.
Oh my gosh, and you do it better than the one in the, whatever that's called, the, what do you call that space? Not veranda. Gazebo. The gazebo guy, because, oh, he makes me crazy. That little Q voice of his. It hurts.
This is good for business.
Well, it is, but that's a whole different story.
I always understand yeast. as
There's actually a couple of patrols where it's very hard to clearly understand what the person is saying, and so my mind goes to what's the most obvious thing that they're saying, and they're saying some ship is ready to assist, and my brain hears something completely different, and I guess that's very human that if you don't have some other clues like lips moving, sometimes you hear things differently.
yeah, your brain is actually trying to make some sense out of it. You cannot understand it clearly.
Right, and it ties it to things you know.
Yeah. It tries to autocorrect with what it has available.
Exactly. So, yeah, I have some very interesting misinterpretations of what's going on. Excuse me one second.
While she's out there, you got to keep an eye once in a while on her, because she's now scanning the fence meter by meter.
My dog is attempting to escape the yard. She's a big, strong dog, and she's attempting to escape. I think it's in Wanted. There's a comment, one of the captain says, the such and such ship is ready to assist you, and I hear it as the Kaj, as in La Cage aux Folles. And I was thinking, well, that's a unique reference for the series, but okay.
That's a thing.
Yeah. And even now, even though I know it's something else, I still hear it the wrong way.
Just okay. Let's do a little bit like this. Make it activate a little bit sooner. Because apparently my automatic microphone thingamadoodle wasn't really picking up earlier.
Oh, yeah, mine was my microphone is so sensitive that it can hear my husband in the next room. And I left the mic on once after I had finished something. People are like, is your husband okay? We can hear him coughing. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, not only is he coughing, he's out on the back porch coughing. So it is a very sensitive mic. Too sensitive. So the question is, why am I playing this stupid snowman game when I've got the accolade?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Other than it's a refreshing change from the same old, same old. So let me ask you, did you like the 7 of 9 ground mission, the ground patrol?
The Bozeman
Yes.
mission?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a dream for my science guy.
I really enjoyed it. I wish they would do some more really interesting ones like that. I mean, it was nice to be able to have to have 7 of 9 in it.
Yeah.
It was fun to do the ground part, and honestly, I liked it a lot better than the space ones they've done with the Discovery missions, which seem to have a lot of the same old, same old.
I really enjoyed the 2 missions with 7 that came out first.
Can you give me 1 second?
Breakfast?
Sure.
I haven't fed them, no. Okay, sorry. I usually shut my door so my husband knows I'm talking. And it's not shut, so he's just walking in and coughing, as I'm sure you can hear him. But, yeah, I did enjoy the 7 of 9 ones. I like the way they've done the characterization. They've written a good script and taken advantage of a good character. But I also like the fact they've taken a lot of her Picard attributes, so I'm hoping that, and the fact that they're releasing La Sirena, is some measure that they're going to have some tie-ins to Picard in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, now first, I guess they still are a little bit gambling on more time so they can finish it. That's why they are currently redeploying a lot of the Klingon content as they have announced.
Yeah, actually, starting on Monday, I've just crafted a brand new Klingon. I haven't even done the tutorials. And starting on Monday morning, Pi and I are going to run and record the current Klingon stories. And then when they do the reissuing of them over the next year, we will go back and compare them to see what they've made for changes.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that'll be fun.
Oh, I bet.
So
I would just love to see when they were fixing some of the old story missions for Federation. That would be great. Because, for example, the Accolade in the Klingon War, on the Stranded mission, Stranded in Space, you cannot do the Science Accolade for some reason anymore. And the tactical, since a few updates ago, the tactical Accolade is also broken.
No, the tactical Accolade worked yesterday. Because I just started a new tune, and yesterday was the first time she did Stranded in Space. But the thing is, if you don't do the Accolade before you go to fighting the Klingons, it won't work. So I had to beam up, beam back down, pick up from the beam endpoint, run through the sequence. You're right, you can't pick up the science accolades through that, and you can't pick up the engineering accolades. So the trick is you have to go back and redo it with two friends, one who's Sci and one who's Tac if you're the engineer. So you've got one of each. Then you also get an accolade for the three of you doing it together.
Nice. That one I did not know.
Yeah, somebody told me about that, and I couldn't remember which episode it was until I did that one the other day. And I'm thinking, you know what? We need to go back and do that one. In fact, maybe I will put that down for ideas to do.
By the way, I'm just seeing it. You have an endeavor point you can spend.
Oh, I have lots of them I can spend. It's one of those things, I'm not really worried about them. I'm at 244. So it's just figuring out which ones I want to do here.
Yeah, I'm at the moment at 276.
Ooh.
I have missed, I think, 3 or 4 missions total.
Oh, gosh. I've missed more than that. When I was working full-time, I was also teaching full-time, and it was getting me physically ill some days, and I just couldn't get up to do it, or I'd do one and go back to bed at night, because some of those days get really long. But
yeah, I bet.
Now I don't have to worry about that. The only really good thing that's come out of all of this is I get to play more Star Trek Online.
What kind of teacher are you, if I may ask, of course?
I teach traditional Songam Taekwondo and Hapkido. I teach martial arts.
Okay. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I'm a 4th degree black belt in Songam Taekwondo, working on my 5th, and I'm working on my 1st degree in Hapkido. Hapkido is a little different in the belting system because I go to a school that's about 150 miles away, so I only go once a week. And normally you'd expect to get your black belt in 3 to 5 years, and I've been doing it for 7 years, and I'm only about halfway to my black belt.
Oh.
So I've got some time ahead of me, but it's fun, and I have a great teacher down there.
Well, as long as it's fun.
It is fun.
It's the right way. No?
It's really painful, but it's really fun. Now, the one drawback is my teacher doesn't hesitate to hit me or to hurt me. I mean, he's gentle, obviously, but our Grand Master will not do that. He's a little bit more old school and therefore very respectful of the difference between men and women. So he won't do anything. You know, one of the other females can go ahead and, put full or mostly power and strength and speed on stuff, but he won't do it. So you don't get quite as good of an education. Not that there's anything wrong with my direct teacher. He's awesome. He's a 4th degree and fabulous teacher. But, there's nothing wrong with learning from Grandmaster as well as from the Master.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah. But no digs at either one. I love you both. I love you, Master Briggs. I love you, Master Steve. You're both awesome.
The only martial art, if one can call it like that, that I know and can do a little bit would be Arnis.
Really?
Is,
wow.
Pinnacle, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's got some.
I'm not very good at it, but I have done a few things by now. I've done it for a year and at my university because we have sports courses there.
Mm-hmm.
But last semester I could not do it because of a lot of stress on my end. I was finishing my master thesis.
Oh, goodness. What was your thesis on?
It was on an improvement. Well, mostly it was a self-made image reconstruction algorithm.
Okay.
So if you have an image and you have damages to the image, you can just say, okay, I don't have these parts of the image, and now it's reconstructed to me.
Oh, that's cool.
So that you cannot see. Yeah, and I've done that in my bachelor thesis as well, where I used an already existing algorithm and, let's just say my improvements on that made it 120 times faster.
Wow.
And my current algorithm is also a lot better than the original Vue algorithm it was based on. So yeah, and this semester I'm now in will be my last one.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I have my master's degree, and hopefully I can get a place at my university to actually try to attempt to get my doctor's degree.
Wow. Wow. That's impressive. I got my associate's degree, went back to college to get my bachelor's degree in nursing, and very, very luckily, I wound up getting a job in a related field in nursing, and fell in love with that, which was great because when I went to finish up my bachelor's in nursing, I discovered I didn't like nursing. I mean, I really didn't like nursing. So rather than investing another $30,000 to finish that up and then probably another $50,000 to go after my master's degree to get into the exact field I wanted to go into, I wound up working in blood bank, which is a different specialty than nursing is, but I like that. It's weird. It's absolutely the nerdy end of having to do nursing. And either your patients are healthy or they're unconscious, which is great. The donors are healthy, so they don't complain too much, and the ones that you're treating are unconscious for the most part, which is just really, really convenient. We were doing plasmapheresis and other forms of apheresis where you are taking the blood out from a patient, doing something to it in situ, so it's being processed as they're hooked up to the system, and then whatever is left over or modified gets pumped back into them on the other side. So in a sense, let's say it's coming out of one arm, getting modified, and then being pumped back into the other arm. And this might be, let's say, harvesting stem cells for treatment after chemotherapy. It might be for red cell patients, sickle cell patients. You're pulling out the damaged sickle cells and replacing them with better red cells. For a number of diseases, plasma is damaged, contaminated, whatever, and you're going to take out the plasma and exchange it for fresh plasma or a chemical replacement. So all this stuff is very fun. Really, at that point, it was very, cutting edge, though we didn't realize it until one day I got home from work and my husband's watching X-Files and they're doing plasmapheresis. And going, it's really cutting edge. It's really experimental. I'm thinking, I had 3 of those today. This is not experimental at this point.
I bet it ain't. If they're doing it, shouldn't be experimental anymore.
Well, when I was working on my final paper for my degree, I was working on a specific aspect of nursing, literally nursing for feeding babies, and talking about some of the issues with it. And then like 6 months later, I happened to read a paper on the very topic I was doing that was just coming out. I'm thinking, hold on, this was in the journals when I was doing my paper, so how can this be new? So I think it's just things are slow to catch up sometimes.
Well, a lot of things are also then treated differently or interpreted differently, and maybe they have done a new set of analysis or have made some new testing on a new group of patients that they haven't done previously.
Oh, absolutely.
I have actually seen a paper that was very, very, very funny for me as a mathematician.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it was basically a person which wanted to make a new system for diabetic analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're measuring the sugar levels over the day, then you will, you want to know what kind of, at some point you have to integrate over the sugar level curve to get a specific value.
Yes.
And they were just like, well, yes, let's just use this, and now we call this my method. And I was just like, that is a basic numerical integration method that exists for over 400 years now. So no, that is not your method.
Yeah, but if you don't know that, you probably think to yourself, this is original and creative, and then somebody from a different field goes, and no, that's not new. That's not innovative. Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I ran into when I was doing my degree was everything I was researching was based off of articles that were published in magazines and journals. Mm-hmm. So the things online was still relatively new and uncommon. So now the time between the completion of your work and peer review and getting published and the time of completion of your work and getting into an online system, there's a much shorter time frame. So things are hitting the knowledge base a little bit faster now than they were when I was in college.
Yeah. Oh, I had it once a friend of mine, which now is working in southern Germany, who did his doctor's degree, wanted to publish a few papers, and it was always the case that 2 out of 5 papers he had uploaded them to several magazines, and they got back rejected because someone else had published very an article that you could just say, well, if it was just rewritten. One magazine publishing before that.
Oh,
And he got so utterly pissed about that.
I can understand that.
So
Yeah, that's...
in the end, he got his papers published anyway because he was just rewriting things and putting more emphasis on specific areas that the previous paper that was published by someone else was not covering. So he still got his papers published. So he was very happy about that. But boy, oh boy, he was pissed.
I don't blame him. I was really surprised, though, at the number of papers in the specific field that I was going into that had to have gone through peer review and yet missed the basic methodologies by leaps and bounds. I mean, sample sizes of 10 hours, a base sample size of maybe 30, and by the end of the protocol, more than half the people had dropped out. How can you reach a conclusion that's going to be valid when your sample size is so messed up?
Yeah. For my area, for example, if you do not have at least 300 different images analyzed with your method, with different maskings and whatnot, well, unless you are using a regular masking for all the images at once, but in my case, I was using different maskings to prove that I don't care what my masks look like, it always works. If you're not having at least 300 images, your paper will just not be accepted. They just say, well, it's nice that you have done 100 images, but that's not good enough. We want more.
But that makes sense, as I was saying.
Yeah, it is very important as well. If you do not have enough conclusive data, you cannot come to a conclusion.
I agree. That makes sense to me, and that's why I was very surprised. That's at least a few of the articles I was using as the basis of mine had such a poor sample size, and equally surprising was the fact that very few of my teachers commented on that. So I'm going to jump to the conclusion they probably didn't go back and actually read anything to see if any of the data had a basis. Yeah, it happens a lot. Very annoying, but I would imagine if you're reviewing 30 or 40 papers, you cannot go back and read them all.
No, you cannot. My brother's currently doing his doctor's degree in chemistry.
Ooh.
And
wow, math and chemistry in the same family. Hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
My father is a computer scientist. We are very diverse.
Not really. If you think about that, that's all the same side of the brain functioning, just in different applications.
True. That's okay. Yeah, that's true. We're all quite scientific.
And nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, my family, my brother was an engineer, so very much scientifically oriented. My eldest sister, however, is a musician, so opposite side of the brain.
Oh, I have ADD, and thanks to my my medication, oh God. Now here comes the German trying to look for English words.
Good morning, Marksman.
Thank you for my creativity. Yeah, my medication is actually reducing my creativity quite a lot, and it's also present in the little pamphlet you get with it.
Ooh. Oh, that must suck. Excuse me.
It's a side effect of that, and I always realize it when I have those. My creativity is just gone. But I can work properly. That's good.
Yeah, but that's got to be difficult to work through, because part of working on your master's is that moment when you try to take the next step from what everybody else has done, from everything you've learned, and how to incorporate it into something that is going to take the field to a different level, hopefully, to add information to it. And you can't always do that without having some degree of creativity involved. So I cannot imagine what that is like.
It's just like your creativity center is just offline. You just don't get. Well, I have the good thing that I can think in a lot of parallel ways.
Mm-hmm.
I can put up to my maximum, and I only was able to sustain that for 30 minutes until I got such a terrible headache that I had to stop. Was 40 processes parallel of thinking.
Wow.
On totally different aspects. Trying to figure out a way to put these all together at once. It worked, but it wasn't nice.
I was just thinking, though, it's very interesting. I noticed that your English is phenomenal. And you can also think in parallel. And I'm wondering if these two are related. I do not think in parallel. I think in very linear ways, which affects creativity. But I also have absolutely no gift for foreign languages. And I've noticed that people who have this ability to think in a number of ways, let's call it parallel just for fun, are also tending to be very gifted with languages. And I'm sure somebody's already realized that, so that's not news.
I have read about a few list of different personality types, but I already forgotten the name again. But I remember in which class I got selected in.
Mm-hmm.
It was the inverted person with the inverted talented person. With those types of people often have a very good affinity to languages and sometimes also to other creative processes and to logical processes in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But they are not very social capable.
Yes. Oh, that's so true.
Which is exactly my problem. I cannot cope with too many people at once. I don't
understand.
go to parties or anywhere. I just want to leave if there's more than 8 persons in a room that I have to interact with.
That's where you get into being able to finesse what some people would consider to be a deficiency in personality into an attribute. I don't like parties either. So I've learned to basically turn it into a series of questions that I can ask somebody else to get them to talk about themselves, rather than me having to talk about me. And that way, people think I'm engaged in enjoying myself, and they're having a great time because they get to talk about their favorite topic, them. And at the same time, I'm not terribly uncomfortable because I'm not having to talk about me. I don't have to get out of my comfort zone. So as I said, you can't turn this to, if you have to do it. And when I was when I actually was working for the university, because the heads of the departments were either married with younger kids and couldn't go out to the evening events, or they were the doctors and there would be a conflict of interest if they went out to an event sponsored by a vendor. They would send me out because I didn't have the authority to make decisions, but I could bring back information. But I don't like parties. So I would get to go to these very interesting, lavish events and have to gather information. So being able to just come up with a series of questions that got them comfortable in talking about themselves and their product, and I didn't have to put myself out there, worked great for that business. And that actually was a successful strategy that I used for about 8 years.
Wow.
And then I went back into being my usual quiet little self, being an office manager, where just me running my domain. Nobody bothered me, which was better.
I have actually the very first time. Well, I have a quite complicated past with a lot of differences between me and other human beings, where I basically completely socially isolated me from everyone else because I did not want to have to do anything with anyone.
I understand that so well.
Because a lot of people were just absolute assholes to me, and me taking meds wasn't really a great thing to have either. So picking and bullying and so on was kind of, well, actually it wasn't kind of, it was daily basis.
Yeah.
But at some point it just started to not care anymore. So I just isolated myself from everyone and just said, you know what, you're a human, fuck you, I don't care what you want from me, I just no. And the very first time I actually found people who accepted me who I was actually in my first semester. So that was around 6 years ago, and now within 6 years I have to catch up with everything that you normally would learn, well, in basically your entire life before that, working with other people and trying to understand them and whatnot. But by now I'm actually good enough in understanding specific people that I can just look them in the eye and just say, well, you have something on your mind, don't you? And they just look at me and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How do you know that?
Yeah, get very good at cutting through all those layers that other people have to develop as part of their, growing up. You have to talk nice, you have to do this, you have to do that, and then you can get to the topic, and you've got the ability to just hit the topic. And
Yeah.
it's disconcerting to most people, really disconcerting. And I suspect, if you want to craft that into a skill, like you want to be a tarot card reader, or you want to present yourself to others, as a psychic, that ability to cut through all those layers and go, no, I can just tell what's on your mind, and people are going to go, woo! You can turn things to your advantages. I don't have that ability, I don't think. I think there's more social interaction even with that than I'm capable of at times. Even doing this for a long time was really, really challenging because I wouldn't even chat in the chat channels. Be like, yeah, really uncomfortable even writing things.
Oh, I know that. I was the very first time I joined my old fleet, I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would chat occasionally with the person who introduced me to the fleet, but very rarely, and slowly started to do more and more. And here I am actually talking to people. Ooh. And worse than that, I've actually gone to Europe to meet people in the fleet. I've gone to Australia to meet people in the fleet. So I'm actually going out and talking to human beings as a result of this.
Oh, heck no, I could not do that. No thanks.
Yeah, that was fun, though. Actually getting to meet fleet mates was really interesting.
Oh, I bet. But I was like, wow.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. And I think part of it is because a lot of us are in the same boat. We've gone through this. We have these same levels of social anxiety or things that make us different. And prior to having the internet, prior to having the game, it was really hard for us to communicate with one another and with other human beings because the differences that give us a commonality here were the things that kept us separate from other people and other groups. So, this is our basis for getting along, is we have something in common. What is the episode where everybody spoke in metaphors? Darmok. We have our social metaphors in the game. We all get them. If we make a joke from an episode or something, we all understand that. If we make a joke based on a piece of equipment or a ship, we all have that commonality, and it's very comforting for us to have that. and yet we still have that social distance. I mean, we're on opposite sides of the planet, which I suppose is as good as it can get right now. So we've got our measure of safety as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Good day.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing, Wolfie? How are you feeling? Are you feeling better?
Much better.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
That is great.
Yeah, don't want anybody being out these days. It's bad enough with everything going on when you get sick and it's not related to the virus. You know, people are still going, oh, she's got the virus, she's sick, oh, poor thing, you know. But it's not, I mean, other health issues still go on.
Oh, other health issues. Frick.
Yeah. Other health issues, yes. An amazing
That reminds
concept.
me, I have to call my doctor again.
Yeah, I have a friend who's a diabetic, and to just go and get some basic stuff done, has to make the appointment, has to get the mask on, has to go through the pre-screening to go into the office. I can't go with her, so I get to go sit in the car to wait for an hour, 3 hours, whatever it is, until she's done.
Yeah, I know that one. My ex-girlfriend was a diabetic as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite interesting. A lot of different things were happening.
Oh, yeah.
All the calculating and whatnot, and trying to support her. Well, I did all of that.
Mm-hmm. It's challenging. Yeah, she's type 1, so that's a little bit more difficult than, let's say, a type 2, which more common here, but you generally don't have to do the check your blood sugar 3 times a day, finger pricks, insulin, etc., etc.
Yeah, she had the little sensor in her arm,
Mhm.
so that you could just use the electronic device and just check her levels, and if necessary, well, insert a little insulin if she needed it.
Yeah.
That was fun.
No, that isn't fun.
I always felt so bad for her, especially when she had to reapply or apply the next sensor, because they only, well, you can only have them for such a long time, so that she has to regularly just replace them, and I was always just like, that must hurt like hell.
So is the sensor subcutaneous or is it deeper in the tissue?
It is basically it's just a needle that goes into the side of your upper arm.
Okay, so, but a small needle?
So directly in the, yeah, it's a kind of small needle.
Okay.
But it goes a little bit deeper than, so you will definitely feel it. And she
Ow.
also told me that in the first few times she had it, it hurt.
I can't imagine. Of course, finger sticks hurt like crazy because you've got such a density of nerve endings there. No matter what you do,
Yeah.
it always hurts.
Yeah, and in this case, it goes directly into the muscle.
Oh, okay. That's what I was curious
Because
about.
She in that case, because when you prick your finger, you're measuring the blood sugar,
Right?
and that sensor actually measures the tissue sugar.
Oh,
So
Wow.
there's a difference between that, because the blood gives you a direct feedback of your sugar levels, while the tissue sugar levels actually they have a little bit of latency. So
Mhm.
they go it takes a little bit longer for the sugar to actually get absorbed into the muscles, into the tissue, and so she always had to check. She was trained to check her muscle sugar levels and the tissue sugar levels, but if things went right, or things went a little bit concerning, she also pricked herself again to recheck
okay.
if things weren't going right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's what she should have done.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, this reality versus the ideal.
Yeah, that was a lot of hardship during that time.
Oh,
It wasn't nice for me. Because I'm a very, very protective type of guy.
mm-hmm.
I'm a 6'7" giant teddy bear.
Oh my gosh.
but I'm also super protective.
Uh-huh.
So that is a problem, because if you're super protective, you just don't want your loved one to happen anything to them. So if something is wrong, I was controlling myself, but in the back of my head, it was always like, oh no, I want to do something, but I can't do something.
Oh no.
That's the
Yeah.
worst kind. When you can't do something.
Oh yeah, that is just for me. That is just the absolute worst. It is. I would rather cut my arm off than have that. And I'm
Yeah.
literally not
Definitely.
joking about that.
No, there's that part of you that wants to protect, that wants to take care of, and at the same time, you also need to respect that that's a separate person and they're entitled to live their own life, even if you could do it better for them and take care of them and make sure they were safe. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
there are the persons that actually say, "Well, now you're my knight in shining white armor, and you will protect me from anything." But I'm just like, eh. But what if when I'm actually not there?
Exactly.
Then
Exactly.
exactly diabetes. You have to keep track of that yourself as well. I cannot take care of that for you. I mean, it is unfortunately, if I could take it away, I would. But
Hmm.
I just cannot see into your body how things are going. If I could, or if there was a method, I would do it. I
And
don't care what it would do to me, as long as I'm still the same. But if I had to replace one eye to see that, then I would actually do that. Just because I can. Or because I want you to live the happy life that you deserve.
yes,
But
but
this is
at the
like,
same time, that happy life eventually becomes one of we're happy when we're self-sufficient, when we're capable of doing things for ourselves. A life well lived.
yeah.
Yeah, I would like somebody to take all the burdens off of my shoulders and let me just have a free and easy life. But you know what? That's not very fun. It's not very exciting. And it's not very fulfilling.
Yep.
Hence the ever popular, hey, I'm going to go to Australia and visit some friends. Without my husband, without anybody else. Just go to the other side of the planet and do something. And, okay, yeah, we're going to go hang gliding and zip lining while we're there. Oh, yeah, and we're climbing mountains in New Zealand while I'm there. And the autonomy and the ability to do that versus the over concern of somebody. And my husband is not one to be over concerned. I'm sure he's concerned, but I think he appreciates that there are things you simply have to go do for yourself and live a life.
And that is the way it should be. Where you still, well, you support each other, but you also give each other the room they want or they desire.
Yeah, and it's a better life
Yeah,
for everybody.
exactly. And that was eventually the main issue why it's now my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
Well, it happens.
it does happen. It takes a while to get all that stuff organized and figure out where you're going to be happy, with whom you're going to be happy. And even then, and I can say this because what year is this? This is 2020. Oh my gosh. I've been married almost 40 years. It'll be 40 years next year.
Wow.
Yeah, and it definitely goes up, down, left, right. Lots and lots and lots of changes.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B.
Yes, yes. So, there are days when it's just like, I promise I won't kill you if you get the heck away from me. And then there's other days where, we're fine being with each other. But we definitely have become two distinct people with, my love of traveling. A somewhat different sense of daring than he has, which is not a negative statement about him. He's done things. We're just at different points in our life.
Mm-hmm.
And yet still figuring it out. So as long as you're willing to adapt, grow, change, and respect one another, it usually works out. I won't say it always works out, but it usually works out.
I was just seeing in your stream that you were doing some things with epos.
Yes, I do the EPOs. So.
Do you know about the Triconipus?
No.
It is literally, it is like a floating jellyfish, and it looks so absolutely cute.
Oh no. Oh no.
Big thing. I've seen those.
It has 3 tentacles and is floating. It has 6 eyes, and it's those very cute cartoon-like eyes that just look at you and just like, oh.
Oh no. Is this a real creature?
It is a pet. It is a
Oh,
pet
it's
from
in the game?
Yeah, from the
Yes.
Herald Lockbox.
Oh no, I don't know that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's cute.
Oh
if you
my
want to
gosh.
see it, I can change to a better populatable instance.
Tell me where you are and I'll come join you.
ESD 26.
Okie doke.
I will be standing near near Q. It is. I saw it and I was just like, I don't care how much it cost. It cost me 9 million, but I did not care.
Oh jeez.
It was so cute, so cute.
In one of
I
our
really-
unused fleet banks, we have all of the lockboxes that people didn't want, including things like Herald lockboxes. Oh, look at that! Looky, 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 looky. Oh,
It
they're
is
so
cute, eh?
cute. Oh,
Hey, I also want to see. I'm on my way.
oh, so cute.
It is. It is just like I can run around a little bit. Have a look how it flies. It just.
Oh my gosh.
No. It is so cute. I really freak out about cuteness, but
Well-
that I just saw it and I was like,
I have my cute weakness too. Hopefully it'll work here. Oh, wrong one. I love it when Q turns me into a Ceylot cub because I'm just so cute and I'll walk around going, I'm so cute. This one's a little bit bigger, but the baby is darling. And I had left it on when I logged off the other night. I was still set up as a Ceylot, so when I beamed back in, my Klingon came up as a baby Ceylot and just paws up in the air. Oh, so
What
cute.
instance are you? 26.
26, yes, over by Q.
Okay.
Let's see if I can talk him into making me into a baby again. Oops, wrong way. I'll be right back.
by the way, I'm at the moment, because I'm a mathematician, I love my statistics. Well, I actually don't like statistics, but okay.
I like statistics, but that's me.
I'm actually very, very bad in statistics and stochastics and whatnot, and I'm more of a numerical analysis guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have done a little bit of research on the drop rates of these Phoenix boxes vouchers
Oh,
for the percentages, and I have made a little something. I bet I can just drop it in some way of something.
That is adorable.
It is a. It is just und fun. I'm sorry, I'm still freaking out about that.
nothing wrong with that. Oh, so cute. So cute, so cute.
So
is
I have
adorable.
uploaded it into the lounge of your Discord.
Let me jump over there.
A little bit of percentages and whatnot. Currently, I have data on 2,510 boxes over 56 different inputs I gotten over the time by now
Mm-hmm.
since the change, and that is what I have come out.
Wow.
So the most interesting thing is obviously the percentage and the standard deviation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very, very interested about the epic, because it has a probability of 0.07%, well, 0.08% to
Mhm.
drop, which is basically nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, without going into too many details, when I want to get something out of the Epic boxes, the easiest way is to save the money and go buy it, because you waste so much money trying to get the Epics. The thing I like out of the lock boxes is the VIP mining claims. The rest of it, it's nice, but I usually just put it on the market.
Yeah. The problem is I want, for example, the Domino console, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I think you can only get it via the Bajoran Interceptor, and that is, as far as I know, Epic token only.
It's an Epic Phoenix, I believe.
Yeah, Epic Phoenix. Yeah,
Mhm.
these are Phoenix percentages
Oh, okay.
for the different Phoenix vouchers.
Yeah, I actually have 2 Epic Phoenixes, which, okay, 2 over. How many years have we had Epics? Yeah.
In total, I have only data on 2 different Epic tokens, and by now I would say I have opened half of the boxes.
I usually get 50 Phoenix boxes at a pop and use them pretty much for the upgrades. I have all the ships from the Epic, so I don't need any of them. There are 2 ships I don't have from the Ultra Rares, and I probably should get those both. But I can get them anytime. And I just picked up the Legendaries, and then everybody bought me the Jellyfish, so I've got enough ships to cover me for stuff to do for the next year.
Oh yeah, I saw the video on Jellyfish, and it was just like, that is so cute to do.
Oh,
That is so nice.
everyone's like, well, what's your favorite ship? And I'm like, oh, and they're like, yeah, well, if you could get anyone, well, Then it occurred to me, if I could get anyone, I'd get the Jellyfish. And then about a month later, and I had no clue. That's why they were bugging me about it. They give me the Jellyfish, which is still in a box, and think I'm going sensor linked with it, but not entirely sure, because that's going to be a huge investment to get that ship up to where it needs to be.
May I give a suggestion?
Absolutely.
Well, may I show you a suggestion?
Absolutely.
Do you know about megawells?
No.
Then I would love to go with you into the TFO binary stars and show you what a mega gravity well can do.
Sure.
If you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
Perfect.
Okay, so do you want to team me then? Let me see this. Yeah. This ship is meh, but it'll do.
Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
You will see what you are about to see is an absolute carnage doom event. It will be literally carnage and doom for our enemies.
Excellent.
Sounds like fun.
So, it is fun. Binary stars on this science tune is my absolute favorite.
Wow. Yeah,
I have built this thing on my Warship Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
And I have named her after my very first shipbuilding teacher.
Oh.
Because it was also the very first ship I was able to surpass him with.
Oh,
he was
sweet.
Only into science, and this ship can do 170k DPS.
Really? Wow.
On average, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and this is definitely going to my science captain, so since she was my first tune, I thought she deserves a good ship.
So I don't know if it will pop, but let's hope we have luck.
Yep.
If not, I will see if I can utilize some people from my fleet.
Okay. First thing in the morning isn't always the easiest time to pick up TFOs. Of course, it's not first thing in the morning there.
Yeah,
Come to think of
we
it, it's not
actually
first thing in the morning here either. It's 8.
I just have a quick... Who's on? A lot of people are on.
You can invite me too if you want.
You are probably Maxell, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Then I will add you. Yay, I got snowballed. On that, I give rocket.
That's interesting. She throws a snowball to me. I automatically get one back. Did you know that?
I did not know.
Yeah.
I never threw a snowball at other players.
Here, she threw it at me. I'm going to throw one at you. Now you should have a snowball. Now you should have 2 snowballs.
Well, it shows that you have a snowball and a half melted snowball.
Well, actually, I'm just showing a snowball.
In my inventory, or
I don't
Yeah,
know
it goes to your inventory, and then you should.
nope, I don't have one in my inventory.
that's
Well,
weird.
then it should be
My-
between your powers there on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, mine popped up in my tray.
Which are full.
Ah, that's
Oh
why.
yeah, here I have melted snowball. Okay, that's why I
There we
didn't
go.
see it. Okay. Then I just put this there, and then I do this.
Now she's got the snowball. It's catch.
Okay.
Du hast.
Ooh.
Du hast mich.
A German
like
with
that
German
bold
metal
voice.
songs.
Sounds
So
better with your
let's-
bold voice.
Oh, Wolfie, it actually says that your level is too low for binary stars.
No, it shows on my list.
Yeah, but
Alright,
for
well.
me, it is read it out. Unfortunately,
It's alright.
What level are you at?
do you have another tune that you
Yes.
can
Yeah,
switch on?
this one's showing your captain's at 37 on that tune.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to log into my other account because this one has 2 new tunes.
Ah.
And this one's the highest of the 2.
I have a new account for something else that we're doing, and I've been leveling her up only by playing One Night in Bozeman.
Ooh.
So I did the tutorial, got her high enough that I could get to the Winter Wonderland to get some of the loot off of that, and the rest of it has strictly been, actually, yeah, I even played One Night in Bozeman just to get her up to level 10 to get to Winter Wonderland. And last night was the first night she'd done a mission that was not the tutorial.
There are other cats with that looks like that, but not pink. Like the
The-
brown
Yeah,
one.
The pink
this
one
one
is-
from the cancer awareness.
Right,
when,
yeah.
When you have donated for it, and I, of course, donated for it.
Me too.
Oh, what do they call this?
This,
Ooh.
the pet you mean?
It's a caracal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a caracal, a Lunarian caracal in pink.
I want one. Doesn't
Well-
have to be pink, but I want one.
You can get them on Rise, I think.
Yeah, you can get them. I got the Midnight, and I actually called him Midnight.
Cool.
Midnight just went straight up to me and was like, "Okay, I'm with you now."
Awesome.
So, Wolfie, do you want to change real quick? Then
Yeah,
we
I'm
have
just waiting for the launcher to finish its fuse megabyte update.
Ah.
Got 20 megabytes left to update.
No problems.
It's just a few minutes. In the meantime, enjoy the snowballs.
Do I have luck? Do I have luck? Do I have luck? Oh. I do not have luck.
I don't think this tune's got the gambling device on her. Nope, no gambling device.
This. I have so many pets by now. I should really make a pet collection on one tune, just collecting all of them.
Like a tardigrade. I don't know why. I think they're cute.
Actually, I like the
They
kitty
are cute.
cats. I like a lot of them. But my favorite one is the Ceylot cub. And then just a plain old cat. And somebody gave me a cat, so now I have 2 cats on 2 different tunes.
But
Cool.
sorry, but now the little Trichonopus. I'm sorry, but that is just. It is so cute.
It is adorable.
It is so cute.
We
cannot
did have
stop,
a
I'm
recording
sorry.
where he just talks about how cute that thing is.
Best of it when in the middle I just swap from English to German because I can.
It is so
I
cute. It is so
noticed.
putzig. It is so putzig.
My German is so bad. When I used to go over there for work, they'd be like, we'll just speak English, okay? It's really bad.
Bist du dir da ganz sicher?
I haven't been there for so long that it's now turned into nothing. And it's really funny. My sister lives in Switzerland. She's been there for 30-some years. Speaks fluent German and Schweizerdeutsch.
Ah, Schweizerdeutsch.
Yep. So when
I
she
can
first,
understand a small bit of German.
well, when she first got there and she's speaking High German, everybody just looked at her funny. I'm like, who do you think you are?
It is really fun because one of my favorite bands is Rammstein.
Oh, of course.
It is so fun to see other people trying to sing with it.
First off, my
And-
voice is way too high for that.
Erst wenn die Wolken schlafen gehen, kann man uns am Himmel sehen. Wir haben Angst und sind allein.
Gott weiß, ich will kein Engel sein.
Oh, such a good piece.
It is. My favorite of all time will, however, be Ich tu dir weh.
I think we are friends, aren't we? No. No. We are not friends on Star Trek. Online.
That is correct.
That is a problem.
But you can resolve that, you know. Excuse me 1 second. Yes, dear. Hi, how are you? Okay.
Let's hope there's not more than one Darwin online.
Well, wait, they're gonna let you go home. Good. Today? Oh, good. Even
What
better.
is
Then you can
your-
take a shower.
Ed
Um,
Leonard 88. Oh, Ed Leonard 88.
I know what
Sorry.
88 is.
That is great. I was just like, oh, here's my handle. Wait, I just successfully said it in German.
That's okay.
Oh.
Send you a friend request. There we go.
I have accepted it as well.
Okay, I'm gonna let Maxell leave your team. Accept. Cool. And then you can invite my other one.
Wolfcat.
Wolfie! Wolfcat! Yes.
Ein Wolf, ein kleiner Wolf, ein kleiner, süßer, miniaturistischer Wolf. Ist er nicht schön?
Sorry, sweetie.
Erst wenn die Wolken schlafen.
26.
Great, now I have an ear.
Ouch.
An, an earworm. I still like that term.
Well, in German it is the exact translation to German.
Ohrwurm.
Ohrwurm, yeah. It is literally the exact same because
Yeah. Oh, both standing next to each other. I like doing that sometimes.
I should see if I can create a second character just to fuck with the leader of my old fleet. There were some things that happened. Well, now most of the leadership is in another fleet. Whoops.
Sorry about that.
No worries at all.
We said gossiped a lot about you, but you don't have to worry about a thing.
Are we ready to take off?
Wee woo.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm waiting to see this.
I will show you the power of the Megawell.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
This will be glorious.
Thank you for coming.
The ship still have. Ship apparently has damage. Wait, that's not toothpick. Oh no, wait, it is.
Please beware.
I
The
forgot.
exploding ships.
Okay.
There will be a lot
Sorry.
of exploding ships in a very specific point.
I will keep my distance.
And just so you know, these ships are around, let's say, 10 kilometers away from the center, the outermost ships.
Okay. Well, I tend to skirt to the periphery anyway, so I should stay out of your range.
You don't. Well, you will just have to look at one specific point. Oh, I'm so happy. What you will now see is death.
I am become death.
Literally.
I'm doing a demo record. Whoa!
Jeepers.
Oh, jeez!
That is a
And
lot of
that
numbers.
is a mega well.
Oh, is that sweet? I want one. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous!
It is.
And that wiped everything out, basically.
It's just sucking everything in.
Yes! It's the mega well, which requires 400 control, has a sucking radius of 12 kilometers.
Jeez. I'll just stay out here, thank you very much.
I'm not even shooting at anything. I'm just.
Oh, you don't need
cruising
to.
around.
How long does that effect last?
One mega well lasts for 40 seconds,
Uh-huh.
and thanks to a few skills, I can just instantly reactivate it.
Oh my gosh.
So I have non-stop gravity well.
Well, we'll just stay
I
out
would
here.
like to see that build.
Yeah, I do want to see that build. No, that's more than, what did you say it was? 12 kilometers? Because that one ship that you just pulled in was at 14.
It has a 12-kilometer radius from its center,
Okay.
but I also have the possibility after a few seconds to create an additional gravity well near
Got it. Got it.
So you have probably played this TFO, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have the two centers
Mhm.
where you have to pick up the little escape pods.
Mm-hmm.
If I can time it right, well, if I can place it right, I can actually suck every spawning enemy from both circles into one gravity well.
Well, that should make it easy.
It makes it easy. It doesn't happen often because also my gravity wells are moving towards the enemy,
Mm-hmm.
so it can sometimes be a little finicky, but most of the time it's actually working.
Wow.
And I can just sit here right now because the enemies do not survive long enough.
To do anything.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
they cannot damage me fast enough. to actually target and fire on me
That is phenomenal.
because they are just dying and dying and dying.
I would love to see this playing home on those big battles, or actually even Midnight, where you've got the huge Iconian battle. Oh, this would be
Measure
great.
the second measure of possibility mission, where
Mm-hmm.
you have the huge dreadnoughts of these different factions.
Yes.
I got rid of them in less than 10 seconds.
Oh my god. How is it on
All at once.
how is it on Borg Disconnected? You know, where you've got the 3 at the end?
It is fun. It is literally you just place it on. I usually go to the left, so I know where the Borg are spawning there.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to, well, just get the grapple on the cube and it just sucks everything in right there.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I feel bad for the Klingons.
They don't
I
stand a
don't.
chance. They don't
I
stand a
literally
chance.
don't. Very, very fun is it also with the Lucari mission, the Dranur Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that one.
I can, well, last time I did them, I got the Elachi, Dreadnoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I just put a grapple on the Elachi Dreadnought, and 2 other abilities. The Dreadnought was dead within, what was it, 8 seconds?
Oh jeez.
Because I was putting Let It Go, which is just an absolute, it is just enormous. Let It Go puts an enormous debuff on your enemies, which is, and it just destroys them. So let's see. I don't think we're centered. We're not centered,
No.
unfortunately.
It is.
That happens a lot. I can maybe work out a little bit of that by just attacking those as well, and just frying them and continuously going through here and there.
It's pulling them from this range. Where are we?
Yeah.
We're on the Clark, so you're getting these.
I am, I'd say, 4 kilometers too far to the left.
Okay.
So it's quite a tight fit,
Mhm.
but it's not easy to actually get it. It is annoying at some points. So I just use other abilities and just wait for those in the graph well to just blow up. Because why worry about those?
Yeah, really. I am super impressed. That is awesome.
Ah, great, we have the one thing finished, so now I can just concentrate on this. Get my secondary deflector a little bit working.
And we don't have to worry about any of that pesky firing at ship stuff.
Yeah. And actually, we will get all 80 of the
Yep.
of the rescue pods. We know
There we go.
what we need to rescue. Yeah.
Am I the only one who gets upset by the next cutscene?
No,
you're not the only
physics.
one.
Yeah, physics.
Physics.
It's a thing.
Yeah, but as I said the one time, why spoil a good story?
Okay,
with
that's fine. It's just one of those.
the details?
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
There is no resistance in space. Even if the engines are
Definitely.
counteracting it, at least at this point, it should not be moving into the ship anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me shit with, oh, it's time crystal's fault.
Oh God, please, please. Do not get me going on time crystals.
That's not how it works. Give me my mega well.
All right, let's see how fast we get the 60 this time.
We are actually hitting the maximum respawn rate at some point here. That's why the enemies do not come in fast enough for us to kill them so quickly.
As I said, I really feel bad for the Klingons. Mom, I'm off to war. I'll be back. Boom, gone.
This will be glorious, boom.
We were playing Counterpoint the other night. Yes, we're doing Counterpoint the other night, and it's beware the wrath of the Terran. And Lita just goes away.
Oh, Lita hates me. Lita hates this ship.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I can take her on alone, and don't worry, not have to worry about anything.
And there they go.
They just keep coming. And apparently they didn't get any.
And that's that. GG.
Hey, there we go.
That was sweet.
Was I able to, let's say, get some ideas into your head about building a mega well?
Yes, you have definitely incentivized me to build that ship, or something close to it. That was impressive.
Yay!
I think we've seen enough for now.
And that's how you absolutely annihilate your enemies.
Oh, Jesus.
Also 120 marks. Which,
I had it one time where the very first time I heard from my original teacher Jacobs. I heard about him. He was talking about, well, there are different types of science ships. And there is this and this, and this is all usually the get-go, but there are also mega wells. And it was just like, what the frick is a mega well? That sounds awesome. He was just like, oh, well, it is just a 12-kilometer radius gravity well. I was just like, I want that.
Yeah, exactly. I totally understand that.
You want to know the very fun part? A few seasons before the season we're now in,
Mm-hmm.
they reworked the gravity well.
Mm-hmm.
Because before that, the maximum radius you could have was 30 kilometers.
Really?
30 kilometers with an absolutely insane pull. Some people would actually have to reduce their pull, because it could happen that the enemies, the physics, the in-game physics would glitch out.
Yeah.
And the enemies would fly off into the distance and actually hit the corner of the border of the map. And sometimes these maps were absolutely ginormous.
Yes. Yeah, I've actually seen that happen. Not be able to find the one that's missing, and game glitches out for that.
Oh yeah, it is so utterly annoying. Especially in Swarm, when you're just like, where's the freaking last enemy?
Exactly.
It's just gone. Yeah, but if you want to build, I can send you one.
I would love to see that. But that said, I do need to close the stream off for the day, because I actually have to go talk to my son and get some stuff done today. That was fantastic. Yes, I would absolutely love to see that build. And
Then I will put it in the ship build off.
thank you very much. I can get out the jellyfish and start her up, and she would be a great one for that. That'd be so much fun.
Also, the 170K
Mm-hmm.
PS, it is an ISA run, advanced,
Mm-hmm.
and it is one of 12 runs I have with that. So it is not a spike. It is actually on average that
Okay.
PS amount.
All right. Cool. All right, everybody. I need to head out for the day. I want to thank Wolfie and Smiertzlan for joining me and all that awesome advice on game, personal life, and the Megawell. So say goodbye, folks, and I'm going to get out of here.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.